Surprise! There's a new fish tank in my room. Lake Tanganyika. Lake Tanganyika. So, sort of a bittersweet acquisition. A good friend of the fish community in my town passed away, and we had to dismantle his fish room. He's really known for his killifish, and so the closest members of the American Killifish Society came and got all the eggs that he's collected from his various species. But a friend tasked to distribute the rest of his fish knew that I really like the shell dwellers, and so and this is something me and Ken had talked about. I was going to trade him some of my multis for some of his gold ocellatus. I believe that's the species. I'll look it up, but they're just beautiful. They're about twice as big as the shellies, or the smallest one's as big as the biggest multi. Obviously in the move, the whole setup has gotten completely mismatched, and so I will have some aquascaping to do, but there's these huge java ferns and a bunch of this plant infested with algae and snails, which cool for the snails, not so cool for the duckweed. But hopefully some regular water changes and ferts will get the algae cut back. You can see they have a sand and crushed coral sort of mishmash in their water. I believe he buffered his water, and so they're gonna have to get used to mine because I usually just use tap for my shellies. But they seem to have made the trip okay. We totally did the biggest no-no in fish keeping, and we moved the tank, sand, and fish all in one go. But nobody seems worse the wear. They are definitely doing very shelly-like, cichlid-like behaviors. There's lots of territorial disputes right now. So I'm sure over the next few days there's going to be a lot of digging out shells and rearranging shells, because this species likes to bury their shells in the sand like this with just the opening showing, and you can see a lot of them got disrupted. So it's going to be a work in progress. So Lavender thinks they're awesome. She says, I can see this one when I'm just standing on the ground. The tank stand's really short, you can see, compared to the cichlid tank, or my other cichlid tank, being a bunch taller. So what I did for now, it came with filters, so hopefully there shouldn't be too much of a cycle. I just had to put on an old air pump. I probably need to invest in a bigger one. This is an AP100. I don't know how much that pushes out, but the sponges seem to be creating a good current. And I put the Marineland white on there, so it has a little extended feet, so this will slide and be a little easier to service. So if you watched my recent videos, you know I just replaced that light for the 40 gallon because it wasn't bright enough. So it's really not going to be bright enough long term for a 55. But it will work until I get something ordered for it. So I'm really happy about my new fishies. I'm excited to watch them and witness their behavior. Not thrilled of the circumstances in which I had to get them, since he would have just given me a half dozen. I didn't really want to lose a friend over it, or lose a friend, and that's how I got the fish. But on the bright side, they have a good home with fellow enthusiasts, because if I hadn't taken them, they probably would have ended up at the nearest pet store, and who knows if they would have gone to good homes and someone who would have bred and kept taking care of them. So anyway, happy news. I will give you a checkup or check-in. Didn't record any of the taking it down, moving it, or anything because we're just in a time crunch, and I actually have to get back over there to help with a few more things. So I'll check in when we get some re-landscaping done. And they've settled in more, although they seem to be going right to their happy cichlid selves. You see, Lavender likes them. All right, catch you guys later.